Hello everyone, thanks for joining me back on StubbleMeetsSteel. If you've seen my last few videos, I've been reviewing this Wolfman Guerrilla razor. It's an aluminum razor that recently came out in I think 2023 is when they introduced the aluminum ones, and they come with all these cool anodized colors. This one is the .54 plate, and I thought a real great comparison for it would be the original Goodfellas Styletto, the V1, the one that's been out for ages basically, is 0.55 millimeter gap, and it just is advertised as slightly positive exposure, so a little bit of a guess there. But shave wise, I just felt that they were similar. They both have very slim, narrow head profile style with narrow and skinny safety bars. So I thought this would kind of be a good comparison between the two. And both razors have a large amount of blade that hangs out past the top cap on them. So I thought that they were just real similar in that particular regard. And this 5.4 plate I really do enjoy on the Wolfman. So I thought this would be a big, great comparison. Weight-wise, they're pretty similar. The Wolfman is about 34.4 grams loaded with the blade, and the Goodfellas is about 36 grams and change. So very similar weight-wise. Lengthwise, the handle on the Guerrilla is 3.5, so it's just a tiny bit shorter, maybe 3.4 or something like that. Very similar. So I thought this would be a great comparison. Let's get into it today. For the soap, I just have the same soap I used in my last shave yesterday. I had quite a bit left over in the bowl, so I figured why let it go to waste, which is just Elysian Grapefruit, and I added some menthol to it, and I might have added too much, so if I start crying, it's because of my terrible life choices and the menthol. So let's get into the shave here. For blades, I have Gillette 7 o'clock, the greens, super stainless in both razors. Add some water to that, make it a party. This is a really good brush. I made this brush, I really like it. It's a Maggard's synthetic knot that I tried from them. It's basically, they advertise it as the plus soft, so I figured it was basically very similar to the knot that Razor Rock uses, which I do like. I have the Beehive from Razor Rock, which has a plus soft in it, 28 millimeter, and I really like that one, so I thought this would be a fun knot to try. This handle that I made it to take 30 millimeter knots, and I really do like it. It's a real soft knot. It's got a backbone, but it's not a scratchy backbone. It's still very soft. It's just got backbone because it's packed so densely. All right, I'd say that's good enough. So to make things even, I thought I would just keep the Guerrilla, I didn't mention, but this particular one that I bought from them is both open comb and closed comb. So to make things fair, since the Goodfellas is just closed comb, I'm gonna go ahead and use just the closed comb side. But I will say that I do really like the open comb on the Guerrilla. It's very smooth and mild. It's not a huge step up. The Guerrilla feels really smooth today. This is a second use on these blades. Menthol's cooking pretty good, tearing my eyes up a little bit, so the next pass will even be more exciting. Menthol always kicks harder on the second pass. First pass there, I would definitely say that the Wolfman definitely felt smoother to me and had less blade chatter than the Goodfellas did. Goodfellas was not as smooth and had more blade chatter to me for sure. I think I'll have plenty of soap on it for this shave. I was worried that there wouldn't be enough soap in the bowl there, but there was plenty. So the 5.4 is obviously the most mild offering they make on the Wolfman. It's a 0.54 and a neutral gap, as I mentioned. So let's see if I keep it on the closed comb side, will it be efficient enough? Or will the stiletto be a little more efficient? Let's see. Again, the Wolfman definitely felt smoother to me on that pass. Less blade feel. But they do advertise the Goodfellas as slightly positive exposure versus the 0.54 plate of the Wolfman is advertised as neutral. So you would expect the Goodfellas to have a little more blade feel. But it's just throwing that out there. I know that the Goodfellas, the stiletto's been out for a while, so I know a lot of people have used it. So that'll kind of give them an idea as to where the 5.4 plate sits. Very nice. Wolfman's super smooth today. It's not that the blade was rough yesterday, but it seems like it's got even smoother since the last use for sure. Put a little bit of water in that. Nice pass. I'd give the nod there to the Wolfman yet again. Super smooth. Really shining today. Just throwing lather all over the place. Menthol's kicking real nice right about now. Very nice and smooth there on the Wolfman side. Hop over to the Styletto side. Finish up this shave. All right, let me just get cleaned up under my nose here a little bit. All right, let me rinse up a little and see where we're at. Let's see if it feels like there's a little bit more on this side, on the stiletto side. Let's see if I can pick it up with the stiletto. All right, not really much to rinse up, so I'll just get right into it. Efficiency-wise, they're pretty much neck and neck. You know, I do really like this open comb, hybrid comb that I've got where one side is open and one side is closed, because the open comb is really nice and really pleasurable to use even for daily shaves. And it does have that little bit more efficiency. So, you know, I have a couple of trouble spots here and here that are always a little bit challenging. And when I use the open comb, it just gets there that much quicker. So I do really like that. That said, efficiency-wise, even on the closed comb side, they seem like they were neck and neck as far as efficiency-wise. As I pretty much mentioned, you already kind of figured out, I definitely noticed that there was more blade chatter and a little bit more blade feel on the stiletto. Not quite as smooth as the Wolfman was smoother on all passes for sure. The against the grain pass was pretty pleasurable on the Goodfellas, I will say that. But overall, the Wolfman just beat it hands down in my opinion on smoothness and just you know, pleasurable shave factor. You know, overall, I like the Wolfman a little bit better personally. You know, you can, as I mentioned in my other videos, get different plates. I have the 0.69 plate, and then they also make an 8.4 and a 9.9. So you have some options there that you can option up, whereas the stiletto, they just came out with the V2, and it is quite a bit spicier, you know, than the version 1 for sure. I did a video on that comparing them. So if you have a version 1 and weren't aware that they came out with the version 2, they cranked up the gap from the 0.55 of this to a 0.88, and then they made the exposure a little more. They messed up on the exposure number, but anyways, it's a little bit spicier. So if you've used the V1 and curious about that, check that video out. But overall, I'd have to give it to the Wolfman. You know, the only place that you know, you got to give it to the stiletto holding his own is, you know, price-wise, this is quite a bit less. The stiletto, I want to say, is like $69 on Amazon, whereas this was about $125 in the custom configuration that I've got it. They do offer a different handle than this Rebel handle, rib for my pleasure, as I call it, handle. They do make one that's just like a cylindrical baseball bat style handle as well. With the stiletto, you can get it in just different top cap colors, or base plate colors rather. This is obviously the red, and they also make it in blue, and other country codes I've heard that you can get green and gold, but I've never actually seen those ones in person. So there you go. If you like the version 1 on the stiletto and were curious about the new Wolfman Aluminum Guerrilla series and the 5.4, there's my spin on it. They're pretty comparable, but I'd give the winner to the Wolfman. Well, thanks for watching. I'm going to do the Wolfman, I think, one more time against something else, and then maybe move into something, some other razors. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my info section down below for some razors for sale and some coupon codes. I look forward to talking to everybody in the comments. Take care.